Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining us on our day 3 of the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge. We're more than halfway done, so I hope you're all doing well. And I want to know on the chat box, or you can show with emojis, how your second day of fasting is going. And also generally, how are you feeling in Bhisma Panchak? Oh, okay, awesome, enthusiastic. Perfect, good. Okay, I'm happy to see lots of good feelings. Energetic. That's oh, I'm so happy to hear that you're all loving it. Somebody said amazing, not yet dead. Today when I was eating potatoes and just like potato and salt and the peanuts, I was thinking, oh, this is not doesn't taste so nicely. But then I was thinking of all of you, and I was like, no, we're all doing it together. 2,000 of us are following Bhisma Panchak together. And then I was remembering what I said in the video. I'm like, okay, even though it can be hard, we're doing it like to make Krishna happy. So yeah, thank you again to all of you for inspiring me. So then let's start. I'm going to share my screen now. So let's invoke Srila Prabhupada's blessings by chanting his pranam mantra. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you have your Japamala ready, then you can take it out. If not, then you can just chant along with all of us.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Brahmananda Shri
Krishna Hare
Advaita
Hare Ram Hare
Gadadhara
Ram Ram Hare
Srivasadi
Hare
Gaura
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Thank you everyone for chanting so focused. Now we'll go reciting our Bhisma Stuti, and then we'll discuss 3 of the shlokas before we have our guest speaker coming, which is Her Grace Janavi Nimai Priya Mataji. Okay. Shri Bhishma Vacha Iti Matirupa Kalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritim Upeyushi Yadbhava Pravaha. Hopefully everyone you can chant along with me. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambharam Dadhane Vapur Alaka Kulavrita Nanabjam Vijaya Sakerati Rastume Navadya Yudi Turagara Jovidumra Vishvak Kachalulita Shamavarya Lankritasye Mama Nishita Sharar Vibidhyamana Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Sapadi Saki Vacho Nishamya Madhye Nija Parayor Balayoratam Niveshya Stitavati Parashanika Yurakshna Hitavati Parta Sakeratir Mamastu Yavahita Pritana Mukam Nirikshya Svajana Vadad Vimukasya Dosha Buddhya Kumate Maharad Atma Vidyayash Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu Swanigamam Apahaya Mat Pratigyam Ritam Adikartum Avapluto Ratashta Dhritarata Charanobhyayat Chaladgur Harir Iva Hantum Ibham Gatotariya Shitavishika Hatu Vishirnadhamsha Shataja Paripluta Atatayino me Prasabam Abhisasara Madvadhartam Sabhavatu me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda Vijaya Rata Kutumba Attatotre Tritahaya Rashmini Tachri Ekshaniye Bhagavati Ratir Astume Mumurshor Yamiha Niriksha Hatagata Swarupam Lalita Gatti Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Kritam Anukrittavatya Unmadandha Prakritim Agankila Yasya Gopavadva Muniganan Ripavarye Shankulinta Sadasi Yudhishtira Rajasuya Esham Arhanam Upapeda Ikshaniyo Mamadrishi Gochara Esha Aviratma Tamimam aham ajam sharira bhajam Hridi dishtitam atma kalpitanam Pratidrisham eva naikadaram kamekam Samadhigatosmi vidhuta bedamoha. Can we have a volunteer to read K. Karuna?
The personality of Godhead, to award salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me as if angry because of the wound dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds.
So here it might seem like Bhishma Dev is like Krishna's enemy and Krishna's in the side of the Pandavas only and not in the side of Bhishma Dev. But we know from, Srimad Bhagavatam that Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord. And even though Krishna is on Arjuna's side, on the Pandavas' side, still Bhishma Dev and Krishna have a very beautiful relationship. And again, as I mentioned in the first day, when even though he was dealing his arrows for Krishna, it was as if Bhishma Dev was throwing lotus flowers on him. He was really enjoying. Krishna also likes to, fight and wrestle. Even like in Vrindavan, every day he goes to the forest and plays with his friends and the cows for like 5 to 6 hours a day. So then Krishna, he loves to play. He loves to wrestle with his friends. He plays, he stick fights, and sometimes they climb on each other's shoulders. So he really likes to have this chivalrous relationship. So then this is the special relationship that Bhishma Dev and Krishna have. And we know that the devotee, he plays the part. So it seems like Bhishma Dev is playing the part of an enemy, but actually he's not an enemy, but he's just doing this to please Krishna, so that Krishna can get some fun and satisfaction from fighting, you could say. Now, Gorangi?
At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with in his right hand and a bridal rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death.
So here we see that even though that Krishna is so merciful and so compassionate, that even to those that were in the Kauravas, anybody in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, because they got darshan of the Lord, because they got darshan of the Lord before they left their body, Krishna gave them their original form after death. So then they were able to attain this and have the same result as others as well. That's how merciful Krishna is. We can have Devamrita and Lilamrita. Okay, we can't. For some reason, we can't hear you. Okay, so Vaishnavi Keshri.
Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Sri Krishna, whose motion and smile of love attracted the damsels of Vraj the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance.
So yesterday, remember how Gauranga Darshan Prabhu was mentioning how, when they were in so much separation, the gopis, one gopi was pretending to be Putana, the other gopi was pretending to be Krishna, and like this, and it's not like they thought, okay, now let's do a drama, now let's think about Krishna. No, they're always thinking about Krishna. So they're just so absorbed that they started imitating and enacting his pastimes. And actually the word smaranam, it doesn't only mean just like remembering, because remembering in English, it means, okay, now I'm going to remember this. But smaranam actually means that Krishna, when we're actually engaged in smaranam, Krishna he's a part of our life. He's always in the back of our mind. We're always thinking of him. Like a mother thinks of their son all the time, like always in the back of the mind. Oh, did he eat? Did he do this? Oh, is he sick? Or I need to go home. So like this is actually the process of smaranam. When Krishna becomes so much part of our life that we're always thinking of him. How can we please him? How can we make him happy? And Krishna, he becomes even more pleased when we glorify his devotees, even more pleased than if we glorify him. So here, Bhishma Dev is not only glorifying Krishna, he also glorified Arjuna in the previous verses. And in this verse, he's glorifying the gopis. Because as I was mentioning in the first day of, I think, our first Sangha, the 5 parts of prayer. So if we have love as the first part of prayer, like expressing our love for Krishna, telling him why we love him. Krishna has so many beautiful qualities. He has the 64 main qualities, so many beautiful things to love him. He's funny, he's grateful, he's respectful, and his pastimes. It's impossible not to fall in love with Krishna. So then the gopis, how they offer prayers, like prayer is like a conversation. Prayer is like talking to Krishna. So the gopis, they offer their prayers. They're always, whatever they speak is, everything is just completely from a place of love. Everything that they do, every breath, every action, the gopis are doing just completely out of love. And the second part of prayer is, we could say, gratitude. So gratitude, the example we have, one example, there's so many examples in our Shastras. But one example is Sandipani Muni, who is the teacher of Krishna and Balaram. And when they went to Gurukul, they were in school for 64 days and they learned the 64 arts. So they were so grateful to their teacher that they asked him, like, what can we do for you? So then Sandipani Muni said, my son, he drowned in the ocean. So can you please bring him back to me? So then there's a whole pastime. Krishna and Balaram went to the ocean, and then they asked Yamaraj, you have to give us back, our teacher's son. And then, of course, Yamaraj obeyed Krishna, and then they brought back the son to Sandipani Muni. And then Sandipani Muni, he was expressing his gratitude to Krishna and Balaram. Then the third type of prayer, that's a part of prayer, is help, asking Krishna for help. So here we can see even in Bhishma Dev's prayers that, he's asking, oh, please let my mind always be fixed on you. Please, be merciful unto me. Please always let me be engaged in devotional service. So one example from our Shastra, there's so many examples. We have like Draupadi, and then also Gajendra, who, he was like holding on. He was trying to like keep free from the crocodile. But then once he decided, like, there's no power, I'm so weak, there's nothing left, I can't do anything else. So that's when he, put lotus flower, and then he started saying prayers, calling out to Vishnu. And also like Draupadi, a beautiful example, one beautiful realization that somebody shared with me is how Draupadi in the Mahabharata, when she was getting disrobed in the court, you know, she she was married to the five most powerful husbands, the five most powerful men in the whole world. And still they could not protect her in her time of need. They couldn't help her. And then so she was trying to ask for help from her husbands. They couldn't help her. Then she was asking help from her seniors. They weren't able to do anything. And when she realized no one else can help me, then she started holding on to her sari, like, I can only help myself. But the but Dushashan was much stronger than her. So then finally when Draupadi realized, no one can help me, my husbands, my elders, I cannot help myself. The only person that can help me is Krishna. And then she just completely surrendered and raised her hands and just completely started offering prayers. And that's when Krishna came. He said, like, now you're calling me. Now, so then, of course, we can always ask Krishna for help. And he's always there. He's always listening to us. But at the same time, he's waiting for us to let go, to let go and stop, keeping control of what we're trying to do and just call out to him, full surrender. Okay, so then then you can write on the chat box the five types of prayer. The fourth one is asking forgiveness. Also, when Brahma stole the cowherd boys and the calves, he also offered many prayers. Also, Indra, when he started pouring rainfall on Govardhan Puja because he was very upset. He wanted to flood the whole of Vrindavan. He offered prayers of like requesting forgiveness from Krishna. And then the fifth part of prayer is praise, just glorifying Krishna, basically telling him how amazing, how awesome he is. So many of our prayers, have, oh, Krishna, you're the source of everything. You're the protector of your devotees. So here, if we analyze and we really like study these prayers, we can see all these different parts are like integrated and how we can also learn how to pray from these great personalities. As I was mentioning the first day, not only speaking to Krishna when we need something, but also, telling Krishna, why do you love him? Or why he's so amazing? And if you make a mistake, asking forgiveness or telling him, when we're having good days thanking Krishna. And even when we're not having good days, still thanking Krishna for the lessons that we're supposed to learn. And every chance, every moment is a chance, an opportunity to like connect with Krishna. Everything, he's our best friend, our well-wisher. Everything he does is good. So this is just some things that I wanted to share. And maybe in the chat box, you can write the 5 parts of prayers. Let's see. Yeah, gratitude is one. Yeah, love, forgiveness. Yes, love, gratitude, help, forgiveness, and praise. Okay, so tomorrow we'll do a little prayer exercise. We'll offer a little prayer to Krishna, based on these principles we were discussing. Now, before our speaker will begin, we'll just sing Damodarashtakam. So if we have a volunteer who would like to lead Damodarashtakam. Okay, let me just clear the feedback because I don't know if you raise your hands from before. Okay, so now you can raise your hands if you'd like to lead Damodarashtakam. We'll just recite one verse and then like 2 or 3 Mahamantras and then. Okay. Okay, Priyanshu Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, if you can just sing like one of each and we'll be singing along with you, but just muted because then it will get confusing. And everyone else, if you have your lamp or your arti, you can offer your lamp to Yashoda Damodar.
Okay, Mataji. Then I'm starting from Ashtakam.
Yes, Prabhu, you can start.
Namameshwaram Sachidanandarupam Rasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyolukharadvamanam Paramritchamadam Tadrodutya Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetrayugmamrijantam Karambhojayugmena Sasankanetram Mushvashakam Patrirekhankakanta Sita Graivam Damodaram Bhaktivardham Nistidriksvalila Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akhapayantam Tadiyaishi Jagnaishu Bhaktajitatvam Puna Prematastam Satavriti Mande Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadem Va Nachanyam Vrineham Vare Shadapiha Idam Deva Purnatha Gopala Balam Sada Me Manasya Virastam Kimanya Idam Te Mukham Bhojamatyantaniler Vritam Kuntalai Snigdharaktaischa Gopya Moschumbitam Bimbarakstadharam Me Manasya Virastra Lakshalabhe Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu प्रसीद प्रभो दुख जालब्धिमग्नम् कृपा दृष्टि विष्टादिदीनं भटानो गृहाणे क्षमामग्नं मेदि अक्षिदृष्ट्या भुवेरात्मजौ बाधामूर्तयद्वत् त्वयामुचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्य प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे स्थितामुदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीरोदरायाथ विश्वशधाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तरीराय देवाय तुभ्याम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं रसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्राजमानम् यशोदाभियोलुखलादवमानम् वरामृष्टमध्यं च द्रोदृत्य गोप्या हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe. And thank you so much, Prabhu, for leading the Damodar Ashtakam.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.
Now we have our great Janavi Nimai Priya Mataji with us. And just a little introduction. I just want to say that she's a really dear God sister of mine, and she's very inspiring. She's preaching to so many people around the world, and bringing people. She just brought a whole group to Vrindavan. So then and she's been living there for a few months and being absorbed in like Bhakti Vaibhav and Srimad Bhagavatam. So I thought it was just a really wonderful opportunity to have her with us, and she could speak about, the glories of the Holy Dham. So thank you, Janavi, for joining us.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? I hope I am.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I'm in also another dham right now at this moment. I'll be giving this talk from a dham, talking about being in a dham. I was thinking I've come here. I am in Sridham, Mayapur as of now. I've been thinking I've come here to Mayapur so many times in my lifetime, in this lifetime, but I've never spoken or given a session while being here. And what beautiful opportunity of talking about being in Dham while being in the most merciful Dham. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I want to welcome all of you, everybody here. I see so many beautiful smiling faces. It's a request to devotees with cameras off to turn your videos on if you can. There's only two conditions you can keep your video off. One is if either you're driving, and the other one is if either you're in the washroom. So these are the two situations where you can put your videos off. Otherwise, it's a humble request to all of you. Let me see your beautiful places. Let everybody see your beautiful places and be inspired by your beautiful smiles. So the topic for today, as you all know, is one which is very interesting. It says glories of living in Dham. So before we begin, we usually seek for blessings. So there's a shloka that I'll recite. If you know, you can recite with me with your mics muted, and then we'll begin with the session. And also, you can pay a lot of attention because at the end, I might ask you some questions. Okay? So, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamam Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much. So we all know what month is going on. See, this is not going to be a lecture when only I speak. I would also appreciate and love to hear from all of you as well. If you know the answer, you can raise your virtual hands or you can use the chat box. So which month is going on? What is this month called? The month that's going on right now? Okay, Vedant Prabhuji. Can they unmute themselves? If not, they can use the chat box, no problem. You can write in the chat box if you are unable to unmute yourself. What month is going on? What is the name of this month? Damodar month, Kartik Mas. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the prompt responses. So this month is known as Kartik Mas or Damodar month, and this is one of the 12 months, and this month specifically is very dear to Lord Krishna. You know why? Because this is a month of Srimati Radharani. Kartika is one of her names, and this month is Srimati Radharani's month. They say if you do even a small pious thing or a small action of bhakti in this month, it is multiplied by 1,000 and 100, and you cannot even calculate how many zeros and how much benefit you get of doing even a tiny bit of devotional activity in this month. And that too, in this month, they say the last 5 days are the most auspicious 5 days. They say these 5 days are called Bhisma Panchaka, and we are all observing that fast. They say if by chance somebody could not fast for the entire month of Kartik, but fasts in the last 5 days of Kartik, that individual gets the result of fasting throughout the Kartik month. So if you're doing the last 5 days of challenge, you're going to get the benefit of fasting throughout the month of Kartik, and you are going to be so blessed and blissful by the end of these 5 days. 3 days are already done, and I already see so much bliss on your faces. So the topic today is described in a lot of books. It is discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It also comes in Nectar of Devotion. So in Nectar of Devotion, Sanatana Goswami, in Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami has described 64 limbs of bhakti, or 64 angas of bhakti, out of which 5 limbs have been specified. They've said that out of these 64, there are these 5 things that every individual should do every day. You have to remember, okay, what are these 5 things? I'll name them now. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 128th verse, says a beautiful shloka that goes, Sadhu Sanga, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vas, Shri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevana. These are the 5 things that each individual should do every day. Now, this was in Sanskrit. How do I remember what were these 5 things? I've made it easy for you. When we go to school, they teach us A, B, C, D, right? Everybody here knows what is A, B, C, D. A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. We've been knowing it wrong. A is for apple, but A is also for association. So that is Sadhu Sanga. Okay, remember, A is for association, Sadhu Sanga. B is for ball. B is for books. Reading of books written by Srila Prabhupada or the Shastras that have come to us. So B is for Bhagavat Shravan. Okay. A is for association, Sadhu Sanga. B is for books. C is for chanting. That means C is for Nam Kirtan. A, B, C. What does D mean? D is for Dham Vas. We reside in Dham. A, B, C, D. D is for Dham Vas. Now, what is E for? E stands for, anybody wants to guess? What does E stand for?
Eat.
No guesses? Sorry? Ekadashi? What did I hear? Sorry.
Eat, Mataji, eat.
Prasadam, eating
Oh,
prasadam.
eat. Prasadam. Yes, Prasadam is so important, of course. Now we know in the last 5 days of Kartik how important is Prasadam. Yeah, I also see some comments. Endeavor, Ekadashi, eating. E is for every day. The A, B, C, and D, we do all these A, B, C, D every day. So that is E for. And what is F for? We do association, we do books, association, and Archa Vigraha Seva actually. Association, book reading, chanting, and Dhambas. All these 4 things every day, E, and F forever, for the rest of our lives. So we do all these A, B, C, D every day and forever. And once we begin to do that, our life is going to be so beautiful and so blissful. Now you'd be thinking, okay, I can do association every day, I can read a book every day, I can chant every day, I can also offer a lamp to Krishna, a flower to Krishna. I can do a lot of things every day. But how do I live in Dham every day? How can I reside in Brindavan or Mayapur every day? Do you want to do it anyway? My question to you is, if somebody someday tells you that your house is like fixed in either of the dhams you love, for example, Mayapur, now you have a house in Mayapur, you can live there for the rest of your life. You can do service, you can go see Radha Madhav, have their darshan, go to Yamuna, take snan in Yamuna, Ganga, take snan in Ganga every day. Would you want that opportunity? Is there somebody here who does not want to take this opportunity? Residing in Dham every day. What a life would it be, right? But then, is it practical? Can you leave your school? Can you leave your family? Can you leave your responsibilities? Can you leave your job? Can you leave your tuition classes? Can you leave your exams? Can you actually live in Dham every day? Can you do it? Yes or no? I can see you. You can shake your head so I can see, no, we can't do it. We have so many things back where we live and we have to stay there. And then how do we do the D, Dham, Vas, every day E, and forever? I'll give you a solution to this problem. There'll be a lot of stories that I'll be telling you, and I'll also be showing you a very short video at the end where Srila Prabhupada is solving this problem for us. So a lot of times when we go to Dham, when we've been to Vrindavan, we've been to Jagannath Puri, Dwaraka, Mayapur, there's a lot of times when we go to Dham. Everybody here has gone to a Dham. We've all been to Dham Yatras, yes? Yes. So whenever we go to Dham, what do we do there? We visit temples, we put on tilak, we eat prasadam. In Vrindavan, we see monkeys. We go for Yamuna Snan, Ganga Snan. We do Sadhu Sanga. There's so many things that one does when one is in Dham. But there's also one very important thing that is added on now. And you know what is that? Clicking pictures. We all go to Dham, we make videos, we click pictures, we try to capture what we feel in Dham. But have you experienced any time when you are in Vrindavan and suppose you're standing in the ISKCON Vrindavan temple and Kirtan is going on, what you feel is barely recorded on the camera that you try to record on, right? So the feeling of being there, the vibrations of being in the temple, they're barely recorded in the phone. Maybe sometimes there could be some things that we are able to record on the phone, but what we can record in the camera of our heart is much higher than what we can record in our phone. It could be that we recorded something in our phone and then our phone got stolen, or the battery ran out, or monkey took our phone, or the storage is full, or the phone has crashed. There could be so many things that could happen with our phone, and all that data is lost. But they say if you click a picture of the dham that you've gone to, within your heart, nobody can steal that memory, that experience, that picture, that video of that dham from your heart. So next time you go to Vrindavan or Mayapur or any dham, remember, while you're clicking pictures on your phone, you're also clicking pictures of that dham, of the experience in that dham, also in your heart. Okay, that is very important for next time whenever you go to Vrindavan. They say, what is the glory of being in Vrindavan, you know? Vrindavan is the place where Lord Shri Krishna himself resides eternally. There's a beautiful shloka that says Krishna has never put one step out of Vrindavan. Even today, he lives in Vrindavan. Krishna is always in Vrindavan. And that place where Krishna lives is equivalent to Krishna. They say his name, form, place, pastime, abode, everything is equivalent to Krishna. So basically, the Dham of the Lord is equivalent to him. That is, it is made of Sat, Chit, and Anand. There can be no problems in a Dham. Wherever a devotee is in Dham, there could be nothing going wrong because that place is personified Lord himself. So there's a story once. Narad Muni is walking by Rajdam, and he sees there's a big heap, a big mountain of skeleton, a lot of bones, and there's a sadhu sitting on the top of all those bones, and he's doing some tapasya. He tries to figure out what is happening. Why is there a big mountain of bones? He goes a little further, and then he sees there's another mountain. And then he goes a little more further, and then he sees there's so many mountains of skeletons all around, and he does not realize, and he's so amazed and shocked to see what is happening. Narad Muni decides the only person with an answer is Lord Shri Krishna. So Narad Muni goes to the Lord and he says, Krishna, I've been, wondering whose skeletons are those and why are they all heaped like that outside Vrindavan, outside Braj Dham? Why is it like that? And can you please explain to me what happened to all those people? And I'm so amazed. And then Krishna says, it's okay, Narad. Why do you care? Don't worry, while you are in Vrindavan, chant, dance, eat prasad. Why do you care so much? And then Narad Muni says, no, but Krishna, I'm so intrigued and I want to know whose skeletons are those. And then Lord Shri Krishna says, Narad Muni, you know what? You are so lucky. Narad Muni is, he agrees, yeah, I'm lucky, but then how? Can you explain better? And then Krishna says that all those skeletons and heaps of skeletons are of rishis, tapasvis, sadhus, and all those people, yogis, who've been doing tapasya out of Vrindavan, out of the boundary of Vrindavan. They've been sitting there and they've been doing tapasya so they could come in Vrindavan, but they could not enter, and then they died, and their skeleton remained there. And then they took birth again and they went to the same place just outside Vrindavan and they're doing their tapasya again so they can enter Vrindavan, but then they died again. It's been millions of lifetimes, these yogis and tapasvis and all these people, they've been waiting to enter the periphery, the boundary of Vrindavan, but they have not gotten the opportunity to enter Vrindavan. Now, do you imagine how lucky Narad Muni is because he's inside Vrindavan and talking to Bhagwan Shri Krishna? And then imagine how lucky are you? How lucky are you because you have also gotten an opportunity to be in Vrindavan or to be in Mayapur, to be in Dwarka, to be in either of the dhams where the Lord has lived himself. There's a lot of people who say, what is the proof that there was Lord? How do I believe in, something I've not seen? I've never seen the Lord. But then if somebody really wants to agree on something, there's a lot of proofs. When you come to Vrindavan, there's so many shilas. If you go to Radha Damodar temple, you'll see a big shila on which there's a footprint of Krishna. And then they say if you go around that shila 4 times, one Govardhan Parikrama is done. There's so many Charan Pahadis, they say. There's a small hill. If you climb that hill, on the top of that hill, there's a stone with the footprint of Lord Balram, with the footprint of Krishna. There's so many proofs if one wants to understand that there was a time where Krishna was here. Lately, I was in one of the forests in Vrindavan. It says this is the biggest forest in Vrindavan. Anybody knows which is the biggest? Do you know how many forests do we have in Vrindavan? How many forests in the entire Charasi coast? Anybody? 12. Yes, Maya Mataji. Thank you, Radhika. It says Brajdham has 12 forests, and which is the biggest forest in Vrindavan? It is called Adi Vrindavan, which is the biggest forest in Vrindavan. Anybody here knows? Subhadra, was your hand raised pehle se or did you just raise now? Do you know which is the biggest forest in Vrindavan? Bahulavan, somebody says. Anybody? Vaishnavi Mataji? You know which is the biggest forest in Vrindavan? Your hand is raised. Akansha Mataji knows. Okay. Chat box. Most of them are writing Kamyavan, Kamyavan, Kamyavan. Because that is the correct answer. Kamyavan is the biggest forest in Vrindavan. And there's this one place in Kamyavan which is called Pislani Shila. What does that mean? It's a big, big slide rock. And as a child, we've all been to a park, to a garden, and we've sit on a slide and slid down and then went up again and slid down again. So this was a natural slide that Krishna used to slide on while he was here. How many years ago? How many years ago was Krishna on this planet? Who knows? You can comment, you can write in the chat box.
Answer 5,000
5,000.
years.
5,000 years ago, yes. Krishna was here 5,000, almost 5,500 years ago. And he used to go there and slide on that rock. There's also a place where there's a big flat rock with a lot of bowls in it, with sections in it where sabji could be put, where puri could be put, where halwa could be put, and that's called Bhojan Sthali. So there's a lot of proof, if one wants to believe, that Krishna used to be here on this earth, and all those places where Krishna visited, it's called Dham. Now, coming back to the story, Narad Muni has just realized that he is so lucky because he has gotten the opportunity of coming to Vrindavan, of coming to a Dham where the Lord came himself, and all those tapasvis outside have spent millions of lifetimes, but they could not have the opportunity or the good fortune yet to enter Vrindavan. So now, do you realize how lucky you are, and how is it that you are lucky? Because Srila Prabhupada, who used to live in Vrindavan, at his own pace, in his own world, he was happy, he was old. Imagine your grandfather is 70 years old, 69 years old, and then somebody tells him, okay, now you have to go to a country that you've never been to. You have to live with people you've never seen. You have to eat, you have to cook yourself, you have to be in a place where you just don't know anybody. Will it be easy for him? Will it be easy for you? Even at a young age, will it be easy for you? No, right? Srila Prabhupada was 69, almost 70 years old when he left Vrindavan. We say we want to be in Dham, we say we want to go to Vrindavan, we want to be in Mayapur. I just want to leave everything and be in the Dham and live there forever. But what if Srila Prabhupada had thought like that? None of us would be here, right? Srila Prabhupada was so giving, so loving, that he decided that, okay, I'll leave Dham physically for now, but I'll carry Dham with me and I'll give it to everybody else in the world. Srila Prabhupada has taken so many personal inconveniences. I was reading a poem, a personal diary that Srila Prabhupada used to maintain in the beginning, in the initial times, and I'll read from that. It says that Srila Prabhupada has written on the 6th of March that he was not in India, he was outside India, and there he's writing on the 6th of March that according to the Mayapur Panchaka, today is the Adivas day of Gaur Purnima. So tomorrow is Gaur Purnima, and today Srila Prabhupada is writing this. Today is Gaur Purnima Adivas. Devotees in Vrindavan and Navadvip are enjoying this celebration. All the devotees, of course, we've all seen Adivas kirtans and Adivas programs. And that is so beautiful and blissful. And Srila Prabhupada is writing in his diary that everybody is enjoying those celebrations, but I am here alone, without any devotee companions. But I have come here to serve the Lord and not for my personal happiness. Imagine he's left all of that behind. He's left the dham behind. He's left the association behind, just so he could give us the importance, the relevance, the glory of Sri Vrindavan or of Dham. What is Adivas? Adivas is the invoking ceremony, the auspiciousness that one creates before a program, before a festival. So Gaur Purnima, before a day of Gaur Purnima, this festival is celebrated, which is called Adivas, where we invoke his auspiciousness. What the next line really blew my mind, where Srila Prabhupada writes, I am prepared to live in hell even if I am able to serve the Lord. Srila Prabhupada is saying that how are we talking about being in a place where I don't know anybody, where things are so difficult, the climate is so hard and it's so difficult for me. He says I'm okay to being in hell as well, if by doing that I'll be able to serve the Lord. So if Srila Prabhupada had not thought like that, we would never understand what the relevance or glory of being in Dham was. So now, do you agree how lucky you are, because Srila Prabhupada, the old man, decided to leave Vrindavan for us? So what is important? Being in Vrindavan physically always, or understanding what Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us? Remember, Srila Prabhupada has tried to give us the A, B, C, and D. And if we don't follow this A, B, C, D, we will not value what he's tried to give into us. He left everything for us so we could change our lives. And they say change is the only permanent thing. What is the most permanent thing? Change. Everything changes. We change, our atmosphere changes, winter goes, summer comes, we grow, our books change, our teachers change, our friends change, our association change, everything changes. Change is the only thing permanent in this world. And if you do not change yourself to be in a good to be a good human being, if you do not change yourself to be a good human being, change is anyways going to come, and then you're going to become somebody who's not so good. How do you change to be a very beautiful and inspiring person? And that is by doing the ABCD every day and forever. And I hope you remember what was the ABCD. So that is how we will show our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, by changing in a most graceful way. They say, this is like Braj Bhasha. If you understand, and I'll try to translate it for you. They say, Vrindavan so van nahi. There's no forest like Vrindavan. Nandagaon so gaon. There's no village like Nandagaon. Vamshi Vat so Vat nahi. Vat is the tree. So there's no tree like Vamshi Vat. And Krishna Naam so Naam. So Vrindavan so van nahi. Nandagaon so gaon. Vamshi Vat so Vat nahi. Krishna Naam so Naam. That is the glory of Vrindavan. That is the importance of being in Dham, and that is the importance that the place where Krishna lived himself carries. So, do you know, if I explain to you a little bit of maths, I'm so bad with maths, but I'll try to explain it to you, and then maybe you'll understand how important and how lucky you yourself are. You all know Brahmaji? Yes? You know what is the body of Brahmaji made of? His entire body is made of buddhi. What is buddhi? Intelligence. His entire body is made of intelligence. What are we made of? 5 elements. And then we have our soul. Brahmaji's entire body is made of buddhi. He's the one who wrote all the Vedas. He's got 4 heads. He gave us 4 Vedas. He is the one who's the personification. He's the Adi Kavi. He wrote all the Vedas. He's given us everything. So he's got a lot of buddhi, much more than ours. If we try to scale our brain, it's only 2 grams. Just 2 grams of buddhi we've got. Sorry, we've just got 2 grams of buddhi. And Brahmaji's his entire body is made of brain. His entire body is made of buddhi. This Brahmaji lives for how long? You know what yoga is going on right now? If you can comment in the comment section. Which yuga are we living in? Is there somebody living in another yuga? Okay, Kali Yuga. So how long is a Kali Yuga? You know. Anybody knows how long is? 84 लाख तो योनियां होती हैं.
4,32,000 साल.
4,32,000.
Yes, thank you. So Kali Yuga is the smallest of yugas. It is only 4,32,000 years. Only 4,32,000 years. Now the yuga before Kali Yuga is
Satyug.
Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar Yuga is twice the number of Kali Yuga. So 4,32,000 into 2. That is the span of Dwapar Yuga. Now, what is the into 2 that you can do yourself? Because I don't remember the number.
8,64,000.
Okay.
8,64,000.
And what is the Yuga before?
Treta Yuga.
Treta Yuga. You know how long is Treta Yuga?
Thrice
Treta Yuga
the
is thrice the size of Kali Yuga, and then 66,000. Somebody is unmute. And then the first yuga is Satyug, and that is 4 times the size of Kali Yuga. Now Kali Yuga is the shortest, and then these are the 4 yugas, and this is their lifespan. I mean, this is their time. And then if you calculate, it's some billions and billions of years. So that is how big is one Chaturyug. Chaturyug is 4 yugas together. One Chaturyug into 1,000. That is 1 day of Brahmaji, and that is the same size of his night as well. So 1,000 Chatur Yugas, this is 1 day, and 1,000 Chatur Yugas, this is 1 night. And then Brahmaji lives for 100 years. Imagine how long is his life. And then Brahmaji says one thing to Krishna, and that is, make me a speck of dust, or make me a small plant or a grass in Vrindavan. Give me that glory. Just make me a tiny thing in Vrindavan. And then imagine how good fortune would it be for us to live in Vrindavan every day and forever. E and F. And how will that happen? That is coming to you. The solution is coming to you very quickly. So there's this one sarovar, a pond, a kund in Vrindavan that is called Pavan Sarovar. One day, Nand Maharaj early in the morning goes to Pavan Sarovar and he sees that there's this very dark complexion, black shadow like man standing there. Nand Baba is a little confused. He's the king. He should know who's there in the kingdom, who's walking around, and what's happening in this kingdom. So he goes and asks this person, "Who are you and why are you here? Why do I not know you? Where do you live? Where have you come from?" This person says, "Nand Baba, my name is Prayag." You know what is Prayag? Prayag is a holy place in India where everybody goes and takes bath in Ganga so that they can purify themselves from all their sins. The people go to Prayag, they take snan in Prayag, they take a dip in Prayag so they can get rid of their sins. Now Prayag himself has come to Vrindavan, to Pavan Kund, so that he can purify himself. Everybody goes to Prayag to purify themselves, and Prayag comes to Vrindavan to purify himself. Now, there's so many stories like that. Mukti, you know what is Mukti? Liberation. Liberation comes to Vrindavan, and then liberation asks Krishna that everybody is asking me for themselves. Everybody wants me, Mukti. But where do I go? Where will I get my Mukti? Where will I get my liberation? And then Krishna says, you'll get your, be in Vrindavan. If the tusk of Vrindavan flies and touches you, you will be liberated. That is the glory of Vrindavan. Imagine how auspicious and how powerful and what is the potency of being in Vrindavan. All these pastimes of the Lord establish the beautiful glory of being in Vrindavan. Brahmaji wants to be in Vrindavan, Narad Muni wants to be in Vrindavan, Shivji wants to be in Vrindavan. There's so many demigods who want to come on earth. You know, they're jealous of us because they can't go to Vrindavan and we go to Vrindavan. I was hearing that all these demigods, you know, what do? Just to take out their revenge on us. When we go to Vrindavan, they increase the temperature. It's too hot for us because they're jealous of us, and then they increase the temperature, so we feel hot. And what does Indra do? We all know the story of how Indra reacted when all the Brajvasis were together, and he just started to shower so many rains because he was not okay that how come somebody else is becoming, you know, the center of everybody's worship. So all these demigods, they aspire to come and be a very small part in Vrindavan where we all can be every day and forever. And all this glory of Vrindavan, all these things of Vrindavan, you know, who's the princess of Vrindavan? There's a name, Vrindavaneshwari, and that name is of Srimati Radharani. The Srimati Radharani, with her own hands, with her own dedication, with her own self, made another dham. And you know which is that dham? You can use the comment section. Mayapur, yes. Srimati Radharani, who's the Ishwari of Vrindavan, has with her own efforts made dham called Shri Mayapur Dham for Krishna. Now imagine the supremacy or the potency or the glory of Shri Dham Mayapur. Once Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur climbs up to his room. He just sits on his seat and he's leaning back and his hands are on his head, and he's very satisfied and happy, and he breathes like that. And Srila Jayapataka Maharaj is there in the room, and Guru Maharaj Jayapataka Maharaj is very happy to look at Srila Prabhupada, so satisfied, and he just asks Srila Prabhupada, are you happy? Are you satisfied? And Srila Prabhupada says, yes, to be in Mayapur, to live in Mayapur, to die in Mayapur is the same. And Jayapataka Maharaj did not understand. How is it that you live in Mayapur and you die in Mayapur and that's equivalent? And then Srila Prabhupada says, when you're living in Mayapur, that means you're living in the spiritual world. And then when you die in Mayapur, then you go to spiritual world, and that is also like living in spiritual world. So living in Mayapur and dying in Mayapur is like being in the spiritual world. So that is the potency, that is the importance of being in Sridham Mayapur. If you go to an ATM machine, you know what is an ATM machine? You put in your card, you put in some numbers, and then what comes out? Sugarcane juice. What comes out of an ATM machine? Yeah? Paise. Cash, yes, cash comes out of an ATM machine. So is a dham. Dham is also an ATM machine, but you know what is the full form of this ATM? It's all time mercy. When you go to dham and when you put in the correct password, and what is that correct password? You know, the ABCD. When you put in the correct password, what comes out is mercy. What comes out is the power of doing service, because there's no dham without service. If I ask you what is the definition of a Brajvasi, we've all heard the word Brajvasi. What is the definition of Brajvasi? What does Brajvasi mean? Brajvasi. I'll repeat what does ABCD mean, don't worry. Usually, people would say Brajvasi means the one who lives in Vrindavan, the one who lives in Braj, the Brajvasi, the one who resides in Braj. That is a Brajvasi. But our acharyas explain not only the one who lives in Vrindavan, but Brajvasi actually means the person in whose heart Vrindavan lives. So me living in Vrindavan physically does not make me a Brajvasi. What makes me a Brajvasi? If Vrindavan lives in my heart, then I'm a Brajvasi. So all of us here, 325 devotees, we could all become Brajvasis just by understanding the potency of Vrindavan and making Vrindavan live in our heart. Now, how will that happen? This is we're coming to the end, and this is a beautiful story. So one time, Narad Muni goes to Krishna. And Narad Muni is a spaceman. He's known for traveling. He just does not stop at one place. He just keeps traveling from one place to another, and he's just all over the places, and he's preaching and he's taking Krishna's name. Narad Muni goes to Krishna and he says, Krishna, I keep traveling. I keep seeing your devotees. I keep seeing people all over the universe. And people keep asking me, Narad Muni, you see Krishna so many times. You've been to his place. Please give us an address of where does Krishna live. Give us a visiting card or something so we also know where does Krishna live, because you've seen him. We're sure you might know what is his address. Now we need this address. Narad Muni has gone to Krishna and he says, Krishna, give your address, give your visiting card so we can give it to, everybody who's asking for it. And then Krishna says a very beautiful shloka. Krishna says, Narad Muni, naham tishtami Vaikunthe. That means, I do not live in Vaikuntha. Narad Muni is confused. Okay, you don't live in Vaikuntha. Where do you live then? And Krishna says, Yogi nam hridayeshuva. That means, I don't even live in the hearts of the yogis. Narad Muni is more confused now. You're saying you don't live in Vaikuntha. You're saying you don't live in the hearts of the yogis. And where do you live? Then Krishna says, Yatra gayanti madbhakta. Wherever my devotees are singing of my glories, tatra tishtami narada. That is where I live. So where does Krishna live? Wherever the devotees of the Lord are singing his glories, are singing of his name, are singing of his pastimes. And where Krishna lives, where the Lord resides himself, what is that called? Vrindavan or Dham or Mayapur. So wherever you are, wherever you live, wherever in the world you are, you could make that place a Dham. You could make that place Vrindavan, like Srila Prabhupada did, just by Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given the solution himself, just by glorifying him in devotee association. So you can always live in Dham, like we said, every day and forever. You can every day and forever do Dham Vas by glorifying Krishna. So always stay connected with devotees and never forget to follow the A, B, C, and D. Now, if somebody can write in the comment section what were the A, B, C, D, E, and F. So everybody is benefited with that if somebody is missed out. You can just comment in the, somebody already wrote, Ishika. A is for association and DT worship, that is Archan worship. Association and Archan. B is for book reading, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. C is for chanting the names of the Lord. D is for Dhambas. E is for every day, and F is for ever. Now we have a sweet short video to end with. I'll try to share my screen and you can tell me if you can hear it.
We can see it, but not hear.
So I hope you could all see it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And jai to all of you. Glories to all of you for making this beautiful event possible for us to host. And I hope you've learned something from today's session. The A, B, C, D, E, and F is very important, and do not forget that. If you want a blissful life, if you don't want a blissful life, then no problem. You can keep living the way you were living. But if you're intelligent, you'd want to live in a more blissful way. And the solution of living the password of being more blissful is the A, B, C, D, E, and F more important. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can maybe ask me. I don't know how does that work. You can ask me, or you can write to me, or anywhere. I don't know. Thank you so much anyways for giving me this opportunity. I hope I've said things that have made sense to you, that you've learned something from, and you'll try to imply in your life.
Thank you so much, Janavi. I love the A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm also going to remember it and use it in the future. It's a really nice acronym. I really like it. And yeah, I'm really grateful for you to join us. I know you're busy and you're in Mayapur, but you made the time to be with all of us. Do you want to unmute people that raise their hands, or should I call out? I mean, however you want to do it. We have time
Anyways, oh, okay.
if you have time.
No, I have time. Always there's time for service. Okay, if devotees have questions, they can raise their hands and I could name them, and then they could ask their questions and we could try to respond to their questions. Okay. There's Devamrit and Leelamrit. Oh,
Mataji, why do you celebrate Bhisma Panchaka?
Why do we celebrate Bhisma Panchaka? So these are the 5 days which used to be known as Vishnu Vrata, but Bhishma Pitama, who's the great grandseer of Arjun, he did this Vrata long ago. And then because he did it, Krishna became so happy, and Krishna gave these 5 days the name of Bhishma Pitama. And then since then, devotees and a lot of people who appreciate Lord Shri Krishna, because they want to become dear to Lord Shri Krishna, they've been doing these 5 days of Vrata. And also they say, if you've skipped out on fasting for the entire month, you can do fasting for these 5 days, and then you get the benefit of fasting for the entire month. So thus we fast in the last 5 days of that. Thank you. Okay. Next question by Yash.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, you are not audible. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Mataji, I have asked this question once more on the second day of our calendar to Prabhuji. That was the question, how can I preach my best friend? I also want to ask you the question to you because I want to know more tips about that.
Okay. So you want to preach your best friend. How old are you?
10.
So whenever you go to school, you might take your lunchbox, right? So whatever you take in your lunchbox, make sure that that's offered to the Lord. You're eating prasadam in your school. And
Yes.
whenever you're sitting in the lunch break, you can offer that prasadam to your friend. Because this prasadam of Lord Shri Krishna is Krishna himself. We say in the beginning of the prayer, right? Mahaprasade Govinda. So this prasadam is Krishna himself. And Krishna is the only one who can change anybody. So your best friend can become a very good devotee if he eats prasadam. So he won't even know that that's prasadam, but that prasadam could do such a big miracle in his life. So every day you pack some lunch for yourself, make sure you add a little extra and you make him eat. That is how
Yes,
he'll also
Mataji.
eventually become.
Yes, Mataji, I am bringing prasadam halwa to school from date 10, and I am trying to give him prasadam like I have gave him 2 to 3 times prasadam. Like
Yes, you.
some bhav. He's getting
Yeah,
some.
even if it is a very little bit, that would also still do so many miracles for his life. So you can keep giving him prasadam and you can keep praying for him. These 2 P's are very important. You can pray for him and you can keep giving him prasadam and he'll become a good devotee.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. We have Rudra Prabhuji. You can unmute yourself. Rudra Tiwari.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Mataji, my question was that how do more and more preach in the college to the friends or coming up in the Krishna consciousness.
So you want to do a lot of preaching in your college and your friend circle, and you want them all to become devotees. See, more than our words, our actions can preach. When we tell them, oh, you should chant, if you chant, you'll get so much peace of mind and you'll be so happy. Maybe you will keep saying all these things, but they'll not realize until they see that you are very happy, until they see that you are very satisfied and there's no problem in your life. And even if you've gotten bad marks, you're still not crying and you know that next time, okay, Krishna will make things happen better, you'll study better. So when you want to preach to people around you, it is not a lot with the words. It should not be a lot with the words, but it should be a lot with actions. So whenever you try to preach, make sure whatever you're saying, you're also actually practicing it yourself. They say it has to be vichar, thought first, then achar, action secondary, and then prachar. Third should be prachar. So pehle you have to think about it, put it in your actions, and then speak about it. And then even if you don't speak about it, but you've nicely thought of it and nicely put it in your actions, people will themselves start following. So you can start thinking of it, thinking of Krishna consciousness, and you can start nicely putting it to action. That is how you naturally start to preach. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There's Ananya Mataji. Mataji, you're on mute. You can unmute yourself. I just sent you.
Yes. We can't. Yeah, we can't hear you. Mataji, you have to click.
Okay, you can write your question on the comment section if you are unable to unmute yourself. Meanwhile, we can try to have somebody else's question. Don't be disheartened. We'll read your question. Or you can learn how to unmute yourself from somebody around you. Vedant, until then?
Oh, shit. Yes, sir. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I wanted to ask that as we all know, Krishna consciousness and like worshipping God is the supreme activity. Like everybody have to worship God. Then why, when Krishna took avatar in on this material world, why didn't he worship anybody?
I did not understand your question. We all understand that practicing of Krishna consciousness is very important. Then
We should worship God, but when Krishna took avatar as a human being, though he was God, but he was acting as a human being. So why didn't he worship any god or anybody?
why didn't he worship? He did. 500 years ago, Krishna came again. And that is called Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us with example, like I was just saying, he taught us with his acharan. He did prachar with his achar. He taught us how to chant. He taught us what to chant. He taught us what to do, what not to do. He gave us everything. So when Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago, and then he saw eventually people did not really understand what it meant and they were not actually practicing it. Then he thought, okay, let me come again, set an example of how to follow Bhagavad Gita. And then he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he, in his action, taught to us how to be a devotee. So Krishna did. worship Krishna himself when he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Thank you for your question. These questions are increasing. We'll try to quickly respond. There's Subhadra Mataji and Garangi. Subhadra and Garangi.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept
Hare
my humble
Krishna.
obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for such wonderful classes that you are giving to children. These are really very valuable for them. Mataji, I just wanted to ask, how do we break this fast Bhisma Panchaka at the first level? If children are fasting on that first or second level, then the manual says that we have to prepare Panchagavya. So it says cow dung, cow urine, and cow milk and cow yogurt has to be mixed. So do we get that preparation somewhere, or do we have to prepare all four by taking all four items and mixing them? If we have to prepare it, then what is the quantity? And so I don't know. Don't have any idea.
Garangi Mataji, you want to address this?
I don't know if there's any actual like proportion to it. I don't think there's like a recipe for it. I mean, and we just have to take like a few drops. Like you can just break with, so like a little mixture, and then you can take like 1 teaspoon, just of the five ingredients at moonrise.
Okay.
And then you can have prasadam and like
Okay.
normal. We'll put a reminder on our WhatsApp channel and make a video or like share how to break the Bhisma Panchak like the day before.
I hope it helped, Mataji.
Mataji, so did I understand it correctly that Mataji is saying that I put a message in the WhatsApp channel for this to share so that somebody can share a video?
She will share a video before you have to.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. There's Khwahish.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I wanted to ask that the video you showed right now, I didn't understand that. Can you please explain that?
You do not understand that? In that, Srila Prabhupada was saying, even if a person lives far away from Vrindavan, that person can still be in Vrindavan if the person carries Vrindavan in his consciousness. I'll maybe request Mataji to post that video on the group, and then you can watch it again so you can understand. Thank you. There's Janvi.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Mataji, my question is that as you said that Srila Prabhupada told to carry Vrindavan in our hearts, but sometimes when we are living in our houses, there are so much of chaos and negative things around us. So that time I really find it very difficult to fix my consciousness or fix my mind in Vrindavan. So how can I do this in the negative surrounding around me?
Yes, so Mataji, it's not just a story of your house. Bhagavad Gita says this entire world is a place of a lot of clash. This entire world is a place which is temporary, where there's a lot of problems. It's not just specific to you, it's just everywhere, wherever you go, it's like that, just not with the association of devotees. So, what is the solution to this problem, and how do you keep the Vrindavan consciousness? You associate with devotees who have the Vrindavan consciousness, and how do you do that? Because they're not, physically available around you. You might think like that, but they are physically available. Srila Prabhupada, somebody asked him once, what happens after you die? And then he said, I will never die. I will always live through my books and you will utilize. But the sad part is we are not utilizing. You can associate Srila Prabhupada himself through his books. You might have a book of his. Whenever you feel that there's something happening in the house that is mentally disturbing, you can just start reading his book. Or put on some earphones and put on some kirtan. If one wants, there's a lot of solutions. So I hope you'll start reading Srila Prabhupada's any small book. There's so many books that he's written for us. You can pick up you can begin with any small book if you want to, if you're not so much of a reader, you can begin with anyone. and then you will feel inspired when you're done reading one. And that will also give you so many insights to spirituality. Thank you. Pritika Mataji. We can't hear you. You're on mute. I just asked you to.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yes.
My question is, when we are living abroad, it's hard to, do sadhu sanga and be in association with the devotees. So how can we still continue to be in association with sadhus? So.
I think
I am sorry I lost you, but the last stanza, the last part that I heard was, when I live abroad, it is difficult to do sadhu sanga.
Yes. How can we still be in
How do you? Yes, I just answered that in the last question. Srila Prabhupada is available for us to associate. There's so many beautiful lectures available on the internet. There's so many things we do on the internet. We scroll on Instagram, we watch videos, we play games. There's so many things we do on the phone, but we could also use the same phone for uplifting ourselves, for taking association of Srila Prabhupada. There's more than 4,000 recorded lectures of Srila Prabhupada. How many have you heard? You can associate Srila Prabhupada by listening to his Vani. And that is how you always stay in his association. Thank you. Vihan Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. And what is the full form of F in ABCD?
F is forever. You keep doing all these things every day and forever. Okay? Thank you. Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Ganga Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mataji, I'm so happy to see you face to face and having a darshan, Mataji. I have just one question, Mataji. I'm following all the activities that is mentioned in the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge, but I'm not able to fast, Mataji, due to my health issues. So even if I'm not fasting, so then still my Bhisma Panchaka Challenge will be it's still completed or it's not, Mataji?
You know the technicality better.
No, so we're telling everyone, even if, because there are some kids also that can't fast or through health, or like because of health reasons. So still you can do like the chanting and hearing and all the other activities, because that's that's even the most important. And the most important of this whole Bhisma Panchaka challenge, why we're doing everything that we're doing, is so that we can try to make Krishna happy and we can think of him. So then Krishna understands. Yeah, just continue doing everything and don't worry. Krishna's seeing your efforts.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Pranam. Thank you. Prahlad Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So my question was that when we go to in December for book distribution seva, and now also you live in Surat, I also live in Surat, and you will be knowing that how many groups we make for book distribution seva. But at the end of the day, from day to night, we are doing seva, and we get tired and we are not that much enthusiastic. So how we should take that enthusiasm in
How do we build our enthusiasm so we are nicely able to distribute the books? That's the question.
Yes. Because without enthusiasm, we can't distribute the books even.
Yes. You can hear a lot of Anup Jain in your background. Okay. Okay. Your question is how do we keep our enthusiasm high so our book distribution does not go, the score does not go down. They say when we distribute the book, that's very good. Then if I've distributed like hundreds of Bhagavad Gita, that's very good. But if I have not read that Bhagavad Gita, and if I'm only distributing it, it might not transform the lives of people who are receiving the Bhagavad Gita from me. So if you want to nicely feel the enthusiasm, what you can do is before you distribute that book, you understand what's there in the book. Because when you give something with a lot of conviction to the other person, that will change the person's heart. And how does that conviction come? It cannot come until you don't know what's there in the book. Everything that we intake in our life, by seeing, by reading, by hearing, by so many things, we intake so much information and so many things daily, on a daily basis. We have to make sure that we intake a lot of positivity and Krishna consciousness so that we can give it out to the world as well. So your book distribution score will not go down if you know what's there in the book when you're distributing that book. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your question. There's Vaishnavi Mataji. Your hand has been up for so long. I'm sorry.
Ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
So my question was how to progress in bhakti while being focused on studies.
How to progress in bhakti and being focused on studies. So, Bhagavad Gita teaches to us that there's bhakti, that's important, but there's also the basic activity that a human being has to perform that does not have to be compromised. So if Arjun, there was a point in time during just before the fight where Arjun said, I can't fight Krishna. I'm so scared. There's people who's taught me. There's my family, relatives. I just can't fight. Bye. I'm going to the forest. And then Krishna said, but no, this is your dharma. This is your karma. You have to do it. And somebody has their mic on. Okay.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, I've been trying to answer a question. Can I do that and then I'll take your question? Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I'll just come quickly right at you after this one. What was the question? Where were we? Arjun. Arjun said that I'm not fighting, and Krishna says that you have to fight. So for an individual, for Arjun, his dharma was to fight. And for us as students, our dharma is to study. We have to set an example to the world that devotees are not individuals who are not intelligent. So we have to nicely study, get good academic qualification, and yet be a very good devotee of the Lord, so that we can set an example for everybody else in the world. And we can let them know that devotees are not just people who just could not study and they just started to chant and something like that. Like there's a notion, especially in India, I feel. What stream did you take after 10th standard? Oh, arts. Arts is for people who could just not study and they just took arts. So we don't want to continue this notion with devotion as a devotee. And while we are a devotee, we have to set an example to the world, and thus we study even better. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that remembrance and forgetfulness comes from me. So I would do this. Before I would give my exam, I'd recite the shloka where Krishna says that remembrance comes through me. So I won't forget whatever I've learned. So that is how I would balance my Krishna consciousness and also my studies. This shloka is 15.15 in Bhagavad Gita. You could try to memorize that shloka and maybe recite it before you start studying or before you give an examination. It will help you because Krishna, it's the words from Krishna's own mouth. 15.15 in Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Where's that Prabhuji who wanted to urgently ask something? Yes, Devamrit Prabhuji. Do I see you? No. Yes, now I see you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji, how to do Tarpana and Sankalpa?
How to do the Tarpana and Sankalpa? Wow, that's such a informative question. I think there's a video that we have for that. So we'll share that video with you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji.
Devamrita, you can ask your mom. She's on the WhatsApp channel.
Okay, Mataji.
Video.
Okay,
Thank you. How many more questions do we take? Do we take all of them? Because it's just increasing. I'm
Yeah.
trying to finish the line and then they add on again.
I mean, it'll be difficult to answer all the questions. So, I mean, if you want, you can take one last one and then we can conclude. I mean, I know that you have to go and you would probably want to go to the temple as well for Damodar Ashtakam.
Yeah. But the Damodar Ashtakam is at 7, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
7.
you. I think we'll take 2 more.
Okay.
Some places really got sad when we said 1. Daksh Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Mataji, how to overcome my mind is overcoming from bhakti to attraction toward other gender. How to overcome this situation?
So how do you want how to fix one's mind on bhakti and not get attracted by the other gender? Oh, that's a very beautiful question. Thank you for putting it forward, because a lot of times maybe we have such questions but we feel so shy in asking and then we don't ask. So because you ask, it's also going to benefit so many the rest of people who'll be listening to this answer. So when they there's a small example. It says, when we were a child, when I was a tiny kid, my mother got me a three wheels wala cycle, the tricycle, and I loved it, and I'd sit on it and eat on it and sleep on it and just cry if I did not have it. Then when I grew a little bit, I got a two-wheel cycle, and then I forgot the three-wheel cycle, and then I just be on the two-wheel cycle, and I'd love to be around with it and show it to my friends and go everywhere on it. Then I got a little more elder. I got a two-wheeler, an Activa or something like that, and then I forgot my cycle, and then I got a little more elder. I got a car, and I forgot my two-wheeler, and then maybe I'll get more older, I'll get a helicopter, and I'll forget the car that I had. So basically, the understanding is, when we get something higher, we forget what was lower. When I got a helicopter, I forgot my three wheels vela cycle. Sometimes maybe I am reminded of it again when I see it in a picture or somewhere. But then I don't hanker to go back to that thing, because I've got something so much more higher. When you talk about attraction to the other sex, or when you talk about a girlfriend or a boyfriend wala relationship, that is it's difficult to realize, or it's difficult to accept, but it is so temporary and it is not going to give us the happiness that we expect that it will. It is eventually going to give us the distress, because now is the age to study. If you don't study, if she doesn't study, you'll both be busy talking all throughout the day, throughout the night, and then you'll not study. You'll not get good marks, you'll not get a good job, you'll not get into a good college, no good college, no good job, no good job, no good job. It's all a big cycle, and now is when it begins. Now is when you decide if you want to give your time to yourself, to Krishna, or to somebody else. And if you are an intelligent individual, you'll make a good choice, and you'll realize that making your attraction to Krishna is the highest choice. It's like driving a private jet, and you don't want to go to a two-wheel vela cycle. So you will make an intelligent choice if you know this conception. And I hope you realize that when you make Krishna happy, everybody gets happy themselves. It says Krishna Tushti Jagat Tushti. So if Krishna is satisfied, everybody will be satisfied, and you're one of those everybody's. Why do you want to be why are you attracted to somebody else? Because you think that maybe she'll make me happy, she'll satisfy me. Try satisfying Krishna, and then you'll see the amount of satisfaction you'll get, and you won't want to make somebody else satisfied, because he'll be satisfied.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take one last question, and I think Divesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Thank you so much. You have always been a source of inspiration for me. I am following you since a long time, and Gaurangi Mataji also. I thank her to bring out such challenges so that we know. Mataji, my question is, how can we please Krishna being a student? And I also have Thakurji Seva at my home, so I don't really get so much time for chanting also, because I have to manage my studies, Thakurji ki Mangala Aarti, then I have to sleep by 10 p.m. so that I can wake up in Brahm Muhurat. So I can't also study in night also. So how can a student be please Krishna, make him happy by the utmost service? What is it?
Okay. So I'll give you an example. If your father has come home, your father loves rasgullas. He's got some rasgullas as well when he came home. He's kept all those rasgullas in the fridge. And now your father is after life, give me the rasgulla, put a rasgulla in the bowl, give me one rasgulla. I'm asking since so long, put your phone aside, give me a rasgulla. Versus the other situation is he just comes home, he puts the rasgulla box in the fridge, and he does not tell you even once. But because you know he loves it, because you love him, you'll just put one rasgulla in a bowl, you'll serve it to him. What will make him more happy? The first situation or the second situation? You go there. Of course, the second situation where you put in an effort yourself by just doing something that he loves. He loves the rasgulla, you just served him. So, how can you make Krishna happy? By doing what he wants us to do. And what does he want us to do? How will we know? He said everything that he wants us to do in the Bhagavad Gita. There's 700 shlokas. Now, you're saying you're a student, you don't have the time to, do all these things all together. I'll give you a very simple, practical thing that you can do as a student every day. And if you do that every day, there's no problem that's coming to you, and then eventually you can increase the standard of your devotional services. One thing that you can do every day is offer a leaf to Krishna. What is the most favorite leaf that Krishna loves? Tulsi. Yes, I see you speaking. So Tulsi is Krishna's
Tulsi.
favorite leaf, and as a student you can spare 30 seconds to just offer a leaf of Tulsi to Krishna. You can offer jal to Krishna. Whatever you eat or drink, you can try that. That's prasadam. If sometimes it's not prasadam, at least you can make sure that every day you're drinking a glass of prasadam, a glass of water that is prasadam. So you always drink a glass of prasadam. You offer a tulsi flower to Krishna. Tulsi to Krishna. You can also try to offer a flower to Krishna. Sometimes there's no flower at home, and what do I offer to Krishna? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. These four things, if somebody offers to me, I'll be very happy. That's it. No, he says if these four things are offered to me with a lot of devotion and love, then I'll be very happy. Because Krishna has no scarcity of tulsi leaves or no scarcity of food and fruit and water. He's the owner of everything. He's the one who gave it all to us. But then, like, the father is the one who got the rasgullas. It was the father's money that was spent on the rasgullas. It was not the child who went out to bring a rasgulla or something like that. It was the father only. It's the father only that's given us the tulsi. We can spare 2 minutes of a day to offer one tulsi to him, to offer one prayer to him, to offer one pranam to him. If you offer a pranam, a tulsi, and some, prasadam or something, a flower to Krishna, that as a student you can begin with, and he'll be very happy. If you want to increase on more, then you can eventually. But these are a few things that you should, without fail, do everything. If you can spare 5 more minutes, you can chant one round of his name, and he'll be very happy if you remember him. Okay. Thank you so much for your question. I still see 2 hands raised, and I'll be so sad to tell you that I will not be able to take your questions, because then if I take your questions, it will be injustice to everybody who lowered their hands. Maybe you can write your questions to us, and then we'll respond to them in person. Thank you so much for all your beautiful questions. When I see 10-year-old child and 12-year-old child saying that I want to preach, how do I preach to my friends and which classmates? That's so inspiring. Thank you so much for being an inspiration for me. Thank you for becoming a medium for me to serving Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Mataji.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody was so excited to have you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you all again soon, super soon.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, everyone. So tomorrow is day 4 of our challenge. We already finished 2 days of fasting. We just have 2 more days to go. And tomorrow we have Her Grace Urmila Mataji joining us. She's a very senior Srila Prabhupada disciple. She's a scholar. She is one of my favorite teachers. So I'm really excited to have her here with us. And then I'm sure you're going to learn so much as well. So I'm really inspired to see all of you joining and being so dedicated. Yash, I see you every single day. And I saw also Maitili and Vaidehi who joined us for Purushottam Challenge like 4 years ago. They were 3, so now you must be like 7 years old. So it's so nice to see everyone joining. Also Karuna and Devamrita and more faces so we can increase our Bhakti Kids family, and every time we can have more and more challenges. So His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj said that, oh, we did Bhisma Panchaka Challenge. Now next year we also have to do Vaishak Month Challenge. So then get ready. In a few months we'll have another challenge ready for all of you. So thank you so much everyone again for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. same time with the same Zoom link. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Pranam Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, never forget him.
Hare Krishna
Dandavat
Mataji,
pranam.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Gauranga.
Hari Bol.